to Storytime with Authors. I'm Jessica, and this is the Underground Toy Society's channel, and I have a special guest here, and her name is Peggy. What do you have there, Peggy?
My picture.
Oh, who's in it?
Me, and Sammy, and you.
Oh, that's right. This is from when I was a little girl. Well, I wrote a story about Peggy's adventure to come back to our house. So it's called The Underground Toy Society Saves Peggy. A long time ago, when Janice was a little girl, she wanted a baby doll more than anything in the world. Christmas was coming soon. She wrote Santa a letter asking for a doll. When Christmas finally arrived, a present from Santa was waiting under the tree. She could hardly wait until it was time to open gifts. Breakfast came first. After breakfast, Janice quickly opened her present to find a beautiful baby doll inside. The doll was dressed in a pretty pink dress with a bonnet and cute little booties. The doll's eyes opened when she sat up and closed when she lay down. Feeling grateful for her new doll, she called her cousin to tell her about her gift. To her surprise, her cousin received a doll as well. What could they name their dolls? Thinking and talking, they liked the name of a close friend. Her name was Peggy. Both girls decided to name their dolls Peggy. Janice took Peggy everywhere. She played with Peggy all the time. They had tea parties, played dress up, and had picnics outside. Janice even took Peggy to church, but Peggy was not allowed to go to school. The teacher said a doll would distract children from learning. Can you believe that? Distract children from learning. As soon as Janice got home from school, Peggy would sit and watch her do her homework. Reading was Peggy's favorite subject. Janice read books to Peggy for practice. Janice took good care of Peggy. She kept the doll's clothes nice and clean. Bathing Peggy was fun and made Janice feel like a real mommy. She placed Peggy in a little cradle every night for bed and read a bedtime story. And this was a picture of my mommy taking care of Peggy. As time went by, Janice began to have other interests. Peggy stayed in the cradle more often. She would wait and hope Janice would come to play with her, but Janice was growing up. She was getting too old to play with dolls. Sadly, Peggy did not spend much time away from her cradle. Peggy still loved Janice very much. One day, Janice moved out of the house. Peggy moved along with her, but something terrible happened. Peggy was placed inside a box. She was scared and missed Janice. What would happen to her? Some other toys were also inside the box. They kept each other company in the long, lonely days and nights in the cold, dark box. After several years, the box lid finally opened. Janice smiled as she lifted Peggy out of the box. Peggy was excited to see Janice again. Peggy's excitement quickly turned into confusion as she was given to Janice's daughters, Jessica and Jennifer, just like in this picture. Peggy was scared because she did not know the two little girls. She wondered if they would take good care of her and love her as much as Janice once did. To Peggy's surprise, the girls did take good care of her, but they did not play with her as much as Janice once did. Peggy was amazed by the amount of other toys in the house. Since Peggy had been Janice's only baby doll, she was not used to sharing time with so many other toys. As time went by, yet again, Peggy spent more time in her cradle and less time playing. Peggy did not mind, though, because she was very happy to be out of the cold, lonely box. Yet she hoped very much she would not have to return to the awful box someday. When Jessica and Jennifer grew up, they could not decide who should keep Peggy, so she was left in their old bedroom. Her first mommy, Janice, had passed away. Jessica and Jennifer moved away. Once again, Peggy was left all alone, but she still had some toy friends. Sadly, they were all placed in a bag. Peggy wondered if this would be where she would stay the rest of her days. Time passed slowly. It was cold, dark, and scary in the bag. Peggy was beginning to lose hope of ever getting out of the bag. Her friends did not want to give up hope. They wanted to find children to love them again, but they did not know what to do. Meanwhile, their old friends were trying to find them. When Jessica and Jennifer had moved, they took toys along with them, although they were separated between the two girls. Two dolls, Samantha and Stacy, had found each other through the underground tunnels formed by the Underground Toy Society. And now Samantha and Stacy were trying to find Peggy. Digging tunnels underground was a long process. The toys needed to be careful so people did not see them. They had to dig at night. Seeing in the dark was difficult for the toys. Luckily, Samantha made a nice mole, Murray Mole, who could dig in the dark. He helped dig tunnels between houses so the Underground Toy Society could help other toys. Murray Mole helped Samantha and Stacy find their old house. They became discouraged when they discovered the house was sealed tight. They had a hard time getting inside at first. Luckily, Tiny Teddy came along. He was able to sneak through a small crack under the garage door. A pile of wood was stacked to the side door. He was scared of heights, but he knew he had to be brave. Making sure he did not look down, he cautiously climbed up the mountain of wood. He unlocked the door for the other toys to come inside. They rushed to their old room to find Peggy. Sad to see her in a bag, they quickly freed all the toys. The toys talked a long time and told each other what had been happening in the past years. Jessica had two daughters, Janice and Janelle. Peggy was so excited. She wanted to go to their house to meet them. However, Samantha and Stacy pointed out some problems. First of all, the Underground Toy Society could not just take Peggy to the house. Jessica would be too suspicious of how Peggy suddenly reappeared. Second, there were huge amounts of toys at the house. Janice and Janelle did not have time to even play with the toys they had. Samantha and Stacy were worried Peggy would be left in a corner or in a pile of toys on the floor. Peggy was tired of being cold, lonely, and sad in a plastic bag. She wanted a chance for children to love her again. How could she meet Janice and Janelle? The Underground Toy Society needed a plan. They remembered Jessica and Jennifer had some toys at their grandmother's house, where Peggy once lived with Janice. Murray Mole dug new tunnels and found that house too. Once they were inside, they found some old friends to help. What could they do to get Peggy to the house of Janice and Janelle? The toys looked for old pictures of Peggy with Janice. They worked together to pull a picture out of a photo album. They placed the photo in a jewelry box for Janice's mother, Grammy, to discover without looking too suspicious. After a few days, Grammy found the picture. Thinking it would be neat to show her great-grandchildren, Janice and Janelle, she took the picture to them one day. The children were excited to see the picture. They thought their grandmother was a very pretty little girl with her cool white glasses. They loved Peggy's dress with pretty red trim and lace. Then they wondered what happened to the doll. Seeing the picture made Jessica wonder too. Jessica had forgotten about the poor doll. I'm sorry, Peggy, that I forgot about you. She asked her father if the doll was still in her old bedroom. Her father found the doll, and on Thanksgiving Day, Peggy arrived at Janice and Janelle's house. Peggy was thankful to meet two new little girls to love her. Samantha and Stacy were right. Several toys were scattered around the house and forgotten. Janice and Janelle showed a lot of interest in Peggy at first. They played with her every single day. As time passed, they began to forget about Peggy and played with their other toys. Peggy did not mind. She was happy to be out in the fresh air and not in a box or a bag. Peggy now spends most days sleeping in an old crib. She has decided, though, she would like to remain in Janice's family because Janice had loved her so much. Hopefully, next time around, when Janice and Janelle grow up, Peggy will have a special place in the house where she can wait for more children to play with her. She especially wishes to stay far away from a box or a bag. So, Peggy, how do you like it here so far?
I love it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad we remembered to bring you here, Peggy. And this was Peggy's original mommy, which was my mommy, and her name was Janice. And we hope that you enjoyed the story. Why are you guys laughing? What's so funny? Peggy, do you know what's going on?
No.
Oh, well, I thought I just heard Ellie's bell. Did you hear that?
I think so.
Ellie, Barry, are you back there? Ellie! Well, Ellie, come here. Can you show us your book, Ellie? Okay, go get it. So this is Ellie's book. The Underground Toy Society Helps Ellie Elephant. Okay, Barry, your turn. And this one is the Underground Toy Society Helps Barry Bear. Good job, Barry. Okay, who else is back there? Ah, Pepsi Pizza. Where's your book, Pepsi? Okay. Oh, the Funny Food's Best Friends. Now this book is by my daughter Janice. So you guys should check that out. Anybody else back there? Did you guys hear that? Uh-oh, I hear a hissing sound. What do you think? It's a snake! Oh, don't worry, it's just Sneaky Snake. Hi, Sneaky Snake. Put your head down so they can see you. So this is the Underground Toy Society Halloween Scare. But don't worry, he's a friendly snake. Alright, anybody else back there? We got everybody? Okay, well, thank you all for joining us for Storytime Adventures with Authors, and have a great day.